Good morning. It's about 10, so we're going to start our yoga class. If you are new to this stream or new to Flow Yoga and Pilates Facebook page, my name is Angela, and I am here today to offer you a nice, slow Sunday stretch. So go throw some comfy clothes on, grab your mat. Hi, good morning, and let's get started. So we will begin today's practice in a nice comfortable seat of your choice. Remember, the focus here is to give yourself that opportunity to let your breath start to be paramount and forefront in this present moment. So you want to make sure that you're comfortable. If you feel a little bit more stable and safe, go ahead and start your practice in a chair. Or if you like, grab a blanket, a couch cushion, anything that allows the sit bones to be elevated. And it's Sunday. If you want, grab your coffee, a nice warm tea. And if you haven't yet, roll your mat out in a space where you feel safe and you are as free from distraction as possible. I hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. And join me now in easy seated pose, taking time to allow ourselves to relax, close the eyelids or soften your gaze. If there's a lot going on, or even if you just get really tired closing your eyes, it is okay to keep them open. But remember, the less we see, the more we feel. So this is your opportunity to really check in and to let your breath start to guide your body and your thoughts. So we're going to begin in a cross-legged position, or again, an easy seat of your choice, sitting up nice and tall, and taking the biggest breath we've taken in all morning so that we can slowly exhale and start to unload. I personally like my first few breaths to come really strong and slow in through the nose. And a nice gentle breath out the mouth as you relax the face. Start to loosen the jaw. Allow your tongue to slide between the top and bottom teeth and let that breath slowly release. Starting to find yourself here, maybe even tilting the chin towards the chest. And allowing your exhale to filter out anything that's not serving you. So imagine your breath like a little, I know it sounds cheesy, a little magical fairy or some loving thoughts. Your inhale is coming in, and just visualize for a moment your breath weaving in and out of the fibers of your muscles. And like a little loving net, as you exhale, letting go of anything that might be creating tension. Right, again, feel your breath weave in and out of the fibers of the mind. And exhaling to let go. Start to feel the body open up a little bit more as you breathe, creating space in the tummy, lifting the ribs up away from the hips. Breathing all the way out. Good. A slow, full breath in through the nose. And a slow, full breath out the nose or mouth. As you continue to breathe in this moment, just notice real quick the sounds that you hear, maybe in your immediate space and just outside your yoga space. With the eyelids closed or the gaze softened, notice subtle movements or light you might see behind the eyelids. So remember, in this moment, we're not clearing the mind. That is virtually impossible. And anytime you force yourself to think, okay, I have to clear the mind, is when the mind almost automatically begins to race. Instead, be aware of the things that you can't change, maybe distractions, subtle distractions. And instead, start to focus on the sound and the feeling of your breath. practice today to bring the hands to your heart space, please do that now. And if there's something that you want to focus on during your time on the mat, create that, your positive self-talk, your goals for the day. And we call that our affirmation or our intention for practice. Hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra, or relaxed beside you. Take a slow, full breath in through the nose and maybe find a little smile here. Always remembering to honor and respect where you are today. Wherever you are is perfect for you. Beautiful. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Starting to notice subtle changes. And if you brought your hands to Anjali Mudra or prayer at heart center, with your next breath out, allow your hands to release back down onto the legs or maybe even the floor beside you. With your next inhale, sit up nice and tall, feeling that tummy muscle lift the ribs up away from the hips. And if you haven't yet, exhale to roll and relax the shoulders down the back body. So here in our easy seat, we can start to feel the hips and the knees and maybe even the ankles speak to us after a little bit of time. I'm gonna encourage you to stay here as long as you can, and we're gonna start introducing subtle movement. So just a little sway from side to side. Inhale as you lean the body to the right. And then feel that strength in your center, that figurative and physical midline. Exhale you back to center. Inhale to the left. So the hands on the thighs is great here because you can keep the legs and the sit bones anchored down as you lean. Inhale. We're going to start off really subtle and slow and then slowly begin to grow. It rhymes. Makes so much sense, it rhymes. So nice and easy here in the beginning. Inhaling to the side. Exhaling back to center. Finding that integrity in your posture as you come back to the middle too. And then just kind of playing with the lines. Exhale back to center. Good. And you can let my words guide you. You can keep the eyes closed here if you like. This is really just a nice, easy sway. Think about the way a palm tree would sway with a gentle breeze. We're missing our beaches here in Florida, so imagine your favorite outside space here, listening to your breath, and connecting that with whatever sounds brings you the feeling of relaxing or joy or pleasure. Good, we're gonna start slowly increasing this movement. Remember, inhale as you lean to the side and start to notice that space between the top of the hip crest and the middle of the thigh. Exhale back to center. If you feel comfortable to, maybe lean a little bit more and let the arms support you. Good, and a gentle press as you come back to center. Good. Slowly starting to increase our range in motion. This is one of my favorite ways to warm up the hips. We're going to introduce the arms. So if you're ready, inhale and reach. And exhale it back to center. You don't have to go very far. Inhale, feel that side body start to open. And if you inhale to the side and you notice that your opposite leg is lifting, maybe pull back on the movement a little bit. Less is more. Nice, couple more. Really feeling it. Let's do one more on each side. Nice big breath. Maybe hold here for an extra inhale. And exhale, bring it back to center. Good. One more on the left. Nice big breath, big side body stretch. And exhale, bring it back to center. Now, once you arrive here, if you want to, go ahead and flip the feet out. If you feel fine here, we're going to do this one more time. Right palm is going to plant beside us. Inhale, left arm lifts, and then walk the right fingertips out. Slide the hand back just a tad. We're going to start to turn our chest towards the right. So right away, we can feel that lower back area all the way up to the lower middle spine begin to stretch. We're going to release the left fingertips to the floor and take a middle upper back twist here. So on your next breath in, we're going to lift up and away from the sit bones. It's going to be a very subtle movement. You will feel it. You might not be able to see it so much. And then on your exhale, really work at squaring that heart space towards the floor. My hands are as wide as the yoga mat. If that works for you, cool. If not, maybe a little wider, depending upon how long your arms are. And then as you feel that middle upper back twist, it's really just underneath the shoulder blades. Take a slow, slow breath in. Notice all of the extra sensations you get as you inhale and then slowly exhale. We're going to slide the right fingertips back. Turn the chest towards the front. Inhale, sweep that left arm up and over. One more side body stretch. Big inhale. And exhale, bring it back. Let the left fingertips find the floor. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, stretch it to the side. And then slide that left hand back. Release the right fingertips to the floor. So my right side is a little tighter. My fingertips aren't coming to the floor so easy. If you're the same, that's totally okay. Take your time. We're going to slide the hands as wide as the yoga mat. Start to square the heart towards the floor beside you. And then make sure you can breathe. Remember, your breath is an awesome gauge. If you've gone too far physically and it's just not, you're just not able to take as full an inhale breath as you did in the beginning, pull back a little bit. We'll take 2 more slow full breaths here. By the way, this is a great way to detox the body. As you inhale and you feel that middle back stretch, we're definitely massaging into the liver and the kidneys. One last breath in. And as you exhale, slide the left fingertips to the side. Bring it right back into the middle of the mat. Excuse me, right beside the body. Inhale, right arm is going to sweep up and over. And exhale, bring it back to center. Good. Just for good measure, one more. Inhale to the right. Left arm lifts. And exhale, bring it back. Good. Last one to the left. Inhale, right arm lifts up and over. And exhale, bring it back. Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and release these feet. We're going to extend the right leg all the way out to the side. If you need to, just lift that left foot and give it a little circle. I'd be lying if I said that I'm not starting to feel a little bit of discomfort in my left foot. So this right leg is going to extend to the side. We're going to turn ourselves towards the right leg, placing the hands on opposite sides. And that same twisting and lowering sensation that we had before, we're going to recreate here. Keep the right leg relaxed. The foot and the ankle are soft. Hands on opposite sides of this right leg. Find a little turn. Heart space is coming towards the right knee. Inhale, sit up tall. And then take your time. We're going to exhale and try to reach the left fingertips towards the outside of the right leg. Now, if you're still high up here, that's okay. This is just used to make sure that we're maintaining that gentle twist. A little twist, a little lower. Inhale to keep the spine nice and long. And on the exhale, try to relax to find more depth. Remember, we're not forcing, so if you're really pushing yourself towards that right knee, just let go a little bit. And again, the right leg is relaxed. We're focusing on the back here. A couple more breaths. Allow your breath to filter out anything that is holding or locking you. Use that breath as a tool. Let's take 2 more here. Good. Last breath in. And then on the exhale, let the left hand come back to the floor just inside that right leg to walk it up nice and easy. And we'll turn it back to the front. Still on the right leg, let's go ahead and send it right out in front of us. Let the left leg release so we can bring the bottom of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh for half-bound lotus. Pulling the sit bones or pulling the flesh out from underneath the sit bones, maybe leaning forward, hinging that hip already just a little bit, not too much though. Flex the foot now, right toes up towards the sky, press the left knee down. So notice what goes on right away. You can reach the arms up, you can keep them on the floor. I will opt to inhale and lift. Join me if you like. Big breath, big stretch. And then keep that length. So we're inhaling to lift the body up, especially this front line here, and then keeping it long as we exhale and relax it down. Once the hands land wherever you feel most comfortable, take a nice big breath, lift the chest, think cow here. And then on the exhale, start to bring it a little deeper, finding that nice long spine. So with flexing and activating this right leg, this becomes an active stretch versus where we were before, which is a more passive stretch. You're gonna feel the lower part of the leg if you're really cranking those toes back towards the face. And there's not a right or wrong here, whichever feels better for you, whichever benefits you more here. So the toes towards the face is gonna give you a better stretch in the calf or gastrocnemius, and relaxing the foot just a little bit more is gonna give you a little bit more of a stretch towards the upper part of the leg. And if you like, play around with that for a couple breaths. Maybe inhale, pull the toes back towards the face and really feel the lower part of the leg. And as you exhale, maybe relax the foot and bring it down a little bit deeper. Good. The gaze is down or towards the toes. The neck is nice and long. Let's take our last 2 breaths. Inhale through the nose. Feel that expansion in the lower back body too. And let it out as you breathe out. All the way out to the very end. 1 more, you got it. All right, as you exhale, release the hands back to the floor. Gently walk it back. Good, and just for good measure, we're gonna take a little counter stretch. So send the right hand to the outside of the left thigh. Plant the left fingertips behind you. Nice and tall as we inhale. Feel the crown or back top of the head really start to reach towards the ceiling. And give it a little squeeze in that midsection as you exhale. Good, just for a breath. Let's release it back to center. Awesome, switch it out. So if you want, give the right ankle a little circle, maybe the left too, as we bring the right heel into the groin and extend the left leg out beside us. All right, so once again, this left foot is relaxed. This is a passive stretch. We're gonna turn ourselves towards this left leg, placing the hands on opposite side. Press down through this right thigh. Feel a nice strong anchor. Inhale, sit up tall. And on the exhale, we're gonna lower the heart towards the knee. And see if we can't bring the right hand to the outside of the left leg. Ooh, I got little pins and needles in my left foot. Those cross-legged positions are hard, so remember, wherever you are at is perfect for you, and start to feel your breath release some tension, breaking that stuff up in the lower middle back. Heart to knee pose. Find that nice balance, a little lower, a little lowering, a little twisting. Relax through the left leg. We've got our last 2 here. Good, 1 more. Big inhale. let that exhale release the right hand back to the floor. We'll gently walk it back, coming back to center and extending and sliding the left leg forward. So again, let your right foot free. Try not to sit on it. We want the bottom of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Active stretch now, toes towards the face. Your choice, a little soft bend in the knee. You can keep your hands on the ground or follow me. Inhale, big reach. Front line of the body is long, and we keep it long as we hinge at the hip and fold forward. Allow your hands to land wherever they feel natural, maybe beside the leg or at the foot. Once you do land, inhale, lift the chest, find that length. We want to make sure the belly doesn't get sucked into this left hip crease, and exhale, bring it down. A single leg forward fold or half bound lotus. Good, really feeling the back of that left leg depending upon where we need it the most. Remember, lower leg, toes a little bit more towards the face. Very active stretch. A little bit higher, we'll relax the foot just a tad. Stay connected to that right thigh, pressing down to help keep you long over the left leg. Good, slow full breath in. And slow full breath out. Good, last one. And as you exhale, release the hands to the floor, walk it back gently. A little counter stretch here. We'll turn towards our right side, left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Right hand slides behind you. Lift it up through that spine as you breathe in. Just a breath or two here. Give your tummy a little squeeze, turning all the way around. Good, and then release it back to center. Awesome, let's see if those single leg stretches added some flexibility for a two-legged stretch or a seated forward fold. Keep some space between the legs, keep a little bend in the knees, toes towards the sky. Inhale, big reach. And exhale, bring it down. Find your breath. Inhale, lift up through the chest. If you need to, lift the knees a little bit more. Exhale, bring it down. Good, and let your next few breaths find length. So we come down into the fold and we lengthen crown of the head towards the toes. Now it's very common to start letting your feet get lazy. I encourage you to keep the toes up towards the sky, and I know that makes it a little bit harder, but we don't want to cheat here. If you keep the feet up and you hang on tight, there's really no room for denying yourself a clean stretch in the back of the legs. We'll take a handful of breaths here, deepening on the exhale. Finding length on the inhale. Good. Allow the head to fall a little bit heavier here. We'll take 2 more breaths. Right, entire back body stretch. This is so good for the posterior chain that we talked about on Thursday. Last inhale. And on the exhale, we'll let our hands come outside the legs to slowly walk it back. Good, all right. Let's slide the legs in. And we'll start making our way onto tabletop. So once you get onto the hands and knees, remember palms are directly underneath the shoulders, knees are directly underneath the hips. Once we come into tabletop, allow the tops of the feet to press firmly into the mat. Push the floor away as you breathe in. And I always like to sneak an extra breath before we begin cat-cow. So as you exhale, you really want to feel the ribs start to hug that midline, drawing the belly up towards the back. It makes the midsection look nice and skinny, but it also keeps us engaged. Looking skinny is not the focus, but you'll know you're doing it right if you feel that belly draw on up towards the spine. Keep the sensation of strength in the arms as you press away, and when you're ready, lower the belly, lift the chest, inhale, cow pose, hips come up. And on the exhale, we're gonna scoop the belly in and feel the ends of the spine start to hug in, chin to chest, tailbone tucks. Nice slow breaths, inhale back to cow. Remember, belly presses towards the floor, heart lifts, the back of the neck stays nice and long as you relax the throat. And exhale into cat, scoop it up. Find a rhythm with your breath, inhaling into cow. And exhaling into cat. All the way out. Big full breaths. Remember, you're going to feel the tightness in the abdominal wall as you drop the belly into cow. I used to have students tell me that it almost feels like you should be doing it the opposite because the belly can't press down as well on the inhale. But remember, we don't stretch the belly muscles so much. Not very often through our everyday lives do we lean back or arc the spine. And as we age, it's actually the opposite. We start to feel the back hunch. So if you come into cow and you drop the belly and inhale, and there's a lot of sensation in the back, I invite you to stay here for an extra breath. Maybe exhale to feel the spine sink down into the tummy. Good. Hold as you inhale. And then we'll exhale and bring it back into cat. If you feel a lot of sensation here in cat, stay for an extra breath. Inhale and feel that back body puff out. Hold on the exhale. Good. Just a couple more. As you breathe and inhale into cow, imagine the front of the vertebrae opening, and then as you exhale and scoop it into cat, the back of the vertebrae opening. All right, one more. We'll return to a flat or neutral spine. Flip the feet into the floor, and just for a moment, let's take some weight off the wrists. We're gonna send our hips back towards the heels in a supported hero's pose. So this can be a little bit hard on the knees. If it is, you can stay here for a moment. And we're just gonna let our sit bones kind of knead into the foot. I'm gonna take it all the way up, and if you choose to join me, let's place the hands folded behind the back, interlace the fingertips, press the knuckles towards the floor, and you can use this here to take a nice little side neck stretch. Release the right ear towards the right shoulder. Inhale the head right back up, feel it stack above the heart space, long through the back of the neck, and exhale, release the left ear towards the left shoulder. Good, one more breath. Little yoga for the neck, yoga for the feet. We'll bring the head back to center. If you like, release the hands, give it a little shake. And then we'll come back to tabletop. All right, tops of the feet are gonna press back down into the floor. Feel your body push the mat away. This is super important because you want a strong foundation through the hands, the wrists, the arms. When you're ready, inhale. I'm gonna move forward. Inhale to kick the right leg back behind you. We're not gonna find a point or a flex. Instead, imagine the ankle pressing away from the hip. Hips don't lift, hips stay square towards the floor. Notice right away too that as this right leg extends, we're gonna start to feel more weight in the right arm. You want that. You wanna make sure you're not leaning into your left side. And then start to slowly lift the left hand away. Notice where your balance is at today. Remember, our exhale is gonna hug the ribs in to stay connected to our body's prime meridian. If you feel ready, with the left palm facing inward, extend that left arm out in front of you. So right here, this is a good practice for balance. You can stay here if you're noticing that this is enough of a challenge for you. If not, let's inhale to lift the limbs a little bit higher, maybe even take our gaze forward. And then on the exhale, we're gonna scoop the knee and the elbow underneath the belly and round out through the back. Good, slow controlled breaths. You don't wanna rush it. Inhale, lengthen the right and left arm, right leg, left arm out. Exhale, bring it in, elbow to knee. Slow and controlled. You got it, one more. Inhale, find length. Gaze comes forward. And exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen right back out. You've got it, gaze forward. Hold, 4, 3, 2, ooh, I'm sweating, and release the left hand down. Nice job. Right knee is gonna follow. Other side. Extend that left leg back behind you. Hips stay squared. Notice the weight shift into that left hand and start to release the right hand out. Remember, the foot is relaxed. This left foot is relaxed. We're pushing the ankle away from the hip. Hips are squared, chest is squared, right arm extends. Inhale, extend the limbs. And exhale, elbow to knee. Round out through the back. Good, again, inhale for 2, extend and gaze forward if it's not too much on the neck. And exhale, elbow to knee. Good, again, inhale, find length here. Nice and strong and stable. Exhale, elbow to knee. Good, one more, lots of length. We extend and hold. 4, 3, 2, and release. Bring the right palm down, left knee follows. Open the knees as wide as the yoga mat, big toes together, and we're gonna sit it back into child's pose. All right, once you get here, let's thread that left arm underneath the body, reaching it over towards the right. And then try to find that space where the top of the left arm bone meets the shoulder socket. This is a great middle upper back stretch or twist too. So if we're here and we're comfortable, let's relax the head down to the floor. And this right arm, totally your choice. You can reach it towards the end of the mat, or we can bind this right arm behind the back, reaching the right fingertips towards the left hip. And then trying to work the right shoulder up above the left. Good, couple deep breaths. As the head rests too, make sure that we're not cranking the neck or crunching the back of the neck. Also make sure that you're not feeling awkward, like the neck isn't sagging down. We want a nice clean line from the left hip point all the way up through the crown of the head. Getting a little twisty today. And a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, release the right hand, slide it back towards the face, and let's ease ourselves up for the other side. We'll bring the left hand to the floor. Right arm is going to thread underneath us. Remember, try to work to find that place where the right upper arm bone meets the shoulder socket. And then gently rest the head on the floor. Left arm can extend forward. This is a great side body stretch, or we can focus on the shoulder if that's where you're at, and bind the left fingertips towards the right thigh or right hip point. Working that left shoulder up above the right with whatever we've chosen so we can feel that middle upper back stretch or twist. Good, let's take our last breath in. And then on the exhale, slide the left hand back beside the face, unthread the arm, and let's lift ourselves up. Good. We'll bring the palms back flat on the mat. Ease it right back into tabletop and walk the knees underneath the hips. Let's go ahead and set ourselves up for downward facing dog. So flip the feet, press the palms into the mat. Inhale, push the floor away, lift the knees. And then as you exhale, we're gonna sink into our upside down V. So the hips come straight up towards the sky. The chest begins to press through the front of the shoulders. And then take a moment to exhale and feel the backs of the legs begin to lengthen. Remember, the heels towards the mat is what we want, but if they don't reach, that's totally fine. Find stillness here in your downward facing dog. Feel your weight evenly distributed on all four corners of the hands and feet. Inhaling all the way up the spine towards the sit bones. Let's take one more breath in here. And as you exhale, slowly walk the feet towards the front of the mat. Good. Once the feet get here, inhale, walk the fingertips forward just to lift the chest and the tummy away from that hip crease, away from the thighs, so we can find length. Exhale, forward fold. Melt the belly over the legs. Let the head fall heavy. You have the option here to allow your arms to fall heavy and relaxed too, or we can reach for opposite elbows, but your neck has the daunting task of holding your head up all day, so give it permission here to release. And sometimes what helps me in my forward fold is to segment the back the back of the body. Imagine cutting it in half for a moment. Pressing the heels down into the floor to lift the hips, even if the knees don't straighten. And then imagining the hips to the head. Exhaling to really reach the crown of the head towards the floor, letting the gaze come back between the legs. Invite some warmth here, 2 more breaths. Good. We'll start to slide the hands up the shins. Inhale, lift the body up halfway. We were upside down for a while, so we're going to stay here in flat back pose just to make sure the blood's rushed away from the head. Let the hands come just above or below the knees and find a little pedal. Since we didn't do it in downward facing dog, let's pedal it out here in our forward fold. So leaning the right sit bone towards the back corner of the mat and giving the left knee a little bend. And then with your next breath, switch it out. Bend the right knee, press the left hip towards the back left corner of the mat. Keeping lots of length through the spine. We'll breathe 1 more breath into the backs of the legs. 1 more here on the right side. And then 1 more here on the left side. All right, with your next exhale, find a gentle bend in both knees. Shift your weight towards the heels. We're going to drop the sit bones, begin to lift the chest. Inhale, scoop it all the way up to standing. Ooh, both my knees just popped. And exhale, hands to your heart space. Just a nice, easy sun salutation. Inhale, big breath, big sweep. It is Sunday after all. Exhale, swan dive it down, forward fold, hands to the floor. Halfway lift on the inhale, find length, hands on the floor or up on the legs, your choice. And then exhale, hands back to the mat. We'll step or jump the legs back into plank pose. And you can hold plank, shift your weight forward if you want. Exhale, chaturanga. Relax the body down, point the toes back. Find some space between the legs here in Cobra, really good way to release any tension in the lower back should you feel it. And exhale, flip the feet, start to send the hips right up above the knees. A nice big breath as we lift it up into downward facing dog. And here we'll pedal it out just for a count of 5. Focusing on the backs of the legs one at a time. 4. Maybe even starting to move the body a little bit more, a gentle sway. 2. Good, and then we're gonna walk our feet as wide as the yoga mat. Let the heels stay on the floor, toes turn out, and then bend the knees. Think about squatting it back. So you'll hear the term yogi squat, and it's used interchangeably in a number of different poses. As you start to walk the hands back, we're gonna shift our weight back towards the heels to drop the sit bones. The same as we did at the top of the mat, but we've got our legs wide. So a lot of times this will be called a yogi squat. It's somewhere between standing all the way tall and all the way down here in garland or malasana. So find where you are here at this halfway point or this neutral point in a yogi squat. If you feel comfortable to, we're gonna drop our hips in line with the heels for garland or malasana. This is a great way to connect to your root chakra. It's also a really good way to open up and strengthen your pelvic floor. Once the hips drop in line with the heels, we want to use our elbows to send the knees back. And I'm going to invite you to keep the hands on the floor and just find a little sway from side to side. See how this feels. This can be really aggressive on the knees. So remember, if you're here, it's okay to rest the elbows up on the thighs and just find a little wiggle. Create some heat in the legs. We'll take 2 or 3 breaths. If you are in full expression of garland pose, imagine the back up against a wall. Good, one more breath. All right, if we're all the way down, we're gonna lift it up halfway. And then all together, start to gaze forward, take your time, press it all the way up to standing. Find the 4 corners of the feet as we come up here. Inhale, arms all the way up above the head. Interlace the fingers and flip the palms towards the sky. A little lean to the left side. And a little lean to the right side. Good, we'll bring it right back to center. Relax the knees, find a little bend, and gently fold forward at the hips, hands to the floor. Good, toes facing forward. Inhale, halfway lift, your version. And exhale, plant the palms back to the mat. Folding a little deeper, let's start to walk the body forward, coming back into plank, wide-legged plank. And you can stay here or on your next breath out, chaturanga. Whoop, plants all up in my face. Point the toes back behind you. Inhale, lift, wide-legged cobra. And then on the exhale, find a little bend in the knees. We're gonna lean our weight into that left leg and just take a gentle peek over the right shoulder. You're doing great, we're almost there. Lean into the right leg, take a gentle peek over the left shoulder. Beautiful, bring it back to center. Gently slide the hips up above the knees, bring the big toes back towards one another, and relax it down into child's pose. Take a breath. And then just take another breath. Good. On your next breath in, let's walk our arms to the right. Feel that left side body lengthen. And then inhale, walk the arms to the left to feel your right side body lengthen. We'll walk our hands back to center. Ease yourself back up into a nice, tall seat, and let's release the feet to come back onto the sit bones. Good. So if you want, you can go ahead and lie yourself down into Shavasana, or we can finish right here. Coming back to our easy seated pose, relaxing the arms, relaxing the face. And taking a moment to thank ourselves for making time to practice, for starting your day off right. Our last few moments of stillness on the mat are also an opportunity to digest everything that we're feeling now, and maybe even compare how we feel now versus how we felt before practice started. Coming back to that positive self-talk, tuning into the intention or affirmation that we said at the beginning of practice. Slow, full breath in through the nose. And exhale to just feel everything release. If you've chosen Shavasana to end your practice, go ahead and turn the video off now, and once again, thank you for joining us. If you're guided with me here in easy seat, let's bring our hands to our heart space. Once again, thank yourself for making time to practice. I hope that you received whatever it is that you needed from your time on the mat, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend. From my heart to yours, namaste.